So you guys want to see our fails too, right?
This video is sponsored by Major Dairy AI Services Limited.
Hey guys, Eddie is back from gallivanting off in Tennessee. No, I'm just kidding. He went to help his sister and her family move from Ontario to Tennessee, so he's back now. He's been back for 3 days, and now we are doing some target practice.
Mom, I shot the beer can, and I shot it too. The burn! Hit the burn!
Perfect.
Hit the burn!
Okay. Now, are you able to see, Eli, stand, see through there? Got it. Nope, in the hole.
You want to talk about your trip? How was your trip?
It was good. Nice weather. It was sunny all 4 days, Sunday to Wednesday. So the driving was good and being down there was good. It was warm in Tennessee, 13 or 14 degrees. So yeah, it was great.
Are you ever going to go away again?
I'd go away again, but probably with the rest of my family.
I like that idea. Joke's on Eddie for this one. He's stuck in the yard in the skid steer. He ran out of fuel and the bucket is up a little bit, so he can't get out of the door. So he called me and he was like, can you come help me? And getting fuel for him to fuel up the skid steer. And then he'll be able to get the bucket down and carry on and go fuel it up at the pump. How does it feel?
Dad?
It's ridiculous. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here.
Yeah, that's what Eli said.
I think there's a way to get the door off, but it would probably not be easy to
Or
get
is
back
there
on.
not like some sort of safety thing to get to release the bucket, or no?
Dad!
Not that you
Maybe.
know.
I
Not
don't
that.
know
Not
where it is.
Okay.
Dad!
Well, it gets even more embarrassing. So I guess I've never used the fuel tank before, and Eddie was trying to explain it to me from inside the skid steer and I wasn't getting it, so I went and got his uncle for help. So his uncle came and helped us. He was at our place anyway in the shop, so it all worked out, but wow.
Okay, I'll help you in a sec.
I think it's actually going to start, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get the door off or something.
I keep him in there.
Yes!
Success.
Thanks a lot, eh? Thanks for helping her.
Oh, no problem
I guess I
at
never
all.
showed Lauren how to run that.
Unfortunately, farming fails can also come in the way of sick animals. We do our best we can to keep them healthy and stay on top of health situations before they become a problem. But this cow here, I mentioned her in this video, she had a deficiency in phosphorus, so it was recommended to IV medication into her, and Eddie has some knowledge in getting needles in the vein and treating cows, so he decided to do it himself, but it didn't go very well. The medication took a long time to drain through the IV tube, and it kept coming out of the vein, the needle, so Eddy was getting really frustrated and second guessing himself and wondering if he should have just gotten the vet to do it. So there are situations like this where we try to make the best decisions we can, but sometimes it still doesn't work out. This cow ended up dying on her own, and it's just a loss when that happens. We don't like to lose animals, but unfortunately it is part of farming.
Unfortunately, we have a little heifer, I think she's probably about 4 months old, 3 or 4 months old, and she's not doing so good, so Eddy just asked me to come take a look at her. So I'm gonna do that now. This little heifer, we moved her into the barn. Yeah, she's just kind of not doing so good. Actually, I kind of forget what number Eddy said she was, but I assume I will be able to tell. She's in our youngest group here. These are our like pack pens in the heifer barn. And just in case you're new here, we also raise Eddy's brother Dave's heifers, so these are not all of ours. But that one looks like she has a bit of beef in her. Could be wrong. Anyway, I've spotted the culprit. There she is. She looks really thin and uncomfortable. There's definitely something wrong with her. It's like her back legs are really sore and stiff. So usually at this age, the main sicknesses they would get is pneumonia, which would produce a snotty discharge from their nose, or heavy breathing, coughing, or their ears might droop. I just saw her cough there actually. Oh yeah, she is coughing. But her back legs look really sore, so I'm not sure. I'm honestly not really sure what's wrong with her. She's really very thin and coughing. I am pretty sure she does have pneumonia. So when Eddy and I got married, I worked on a veal farm that raised 360 calves at a time. So I really got to know calves when I was working there, and it was a veal farm, so they were male calves that came from all types of different farms. So we saw a lot of different sickness once it was all mingled together. So saw a lot of pneumonia there and learned a lot. So Eddy usually asks me for my opinion when there's something wrong with the calf or young heifer here. So I'm pretty sure she does have pneumonia, but he was talking about getting the vet out, so I'm gonna give him the okay on that call, just in case it is something else.
So it's time to tell you guys about our calf number one. Calf number one was the first calf born on this farm when we started milking here at the beginning of June 2022. So almost 2 years ago now. Calf number one was important to me. I don't really care what she was for genetics, just the fact that she was calf number one. I wanted her milking in this barn. It was just gonna be nice to see calf number one, calve and start milking and be part of this herd. So we worked hard to get calf number one pregnant because calf number one didn't want to get pregnant. So we bred calf number one 8 times, which is too many times for a heifer. Normally we would only go maybe 4 or 5, and then if a heifer doesn't get pregnant, you would sell them. But we tried her 8 times. We hadn't preg checked her yet, but we were pretty sure she was pregnant because she was about 30-35 days from her last breeding. And we did not see a heat on her, and she was gonna get preg checked. And the day before she got preg checked, she did the splits in the heifer barn sometime in the middle of the night, and I found her, and she was too far gone, like beyond anything the vet could do for them. It's a really freak accident to happen, especially with heifers, to fall and do the splits and damage their legs. Because heifers are very strong and resilient. They can slip and fall, get back up because they're young and strong. And this one, yeah, I saw her one morning. It was the day before we were going to do herd health. And I was just like, I don't know about this. So me and my brother got her moved into the pack area. Obviously, we didn't want to film any of this because it's really not a nice thing to see. We did it as humanely as we could. And then we had the vet out looking at her, and even the vet said, like, there's nothing we can do for her. Like, she's too damaged. Her muscles were too damaged. We had to put her down. And it was unbelievable because I've never had that where we had to put a heifer down because of that. My brother that used to do the heifers here, I think he said he had it once, that he had an animal that he had to do that too. But just the fact that it was number one, we worked, you know, hard to get her pregnant, you know, bred her 8 times, like, you know, hindsight's 20/20, but we should have sold that animal and got our $2,000 and just considered the, you know, it a loss that we weren't going to get number one in the barn and milking. And we ended up, you know, paying the vet to come out and put her down and have a look at her. And we spent too much time and money on breeding her and raising her. Like, you put, you know, $3,000 to get a heifer into calving, and yeah, we lost all our money there. So it was, I don't know if it was a lesson learned. I think it was a fluke, and like, it was just something that was going to happen. Anyway, so you're going to see calf number 2 be our first animal that calves in the dairy barn. So we have calf number 2 and 3 at the end of the dairy barn. We'll get all that on film when those ones calve and come into milk, and that'll be pretty exciting.
We're on our way home from church, and we were coming into our driveway and saw that there was a car like leaving our driveway that we didn't recognize. And so we got up to the driveway and noticed that there were tracks coming out of the field, like not a field lane, just like kind of on the edge of the field. And you can see he went, so then we came to check it out, and he went in the ditch. I'll show you. Right here, so there's tracks here that go in the ditch. And he drove right, or she drove right through the field.
And then they just carried on.
To
the driveway.
Through the field. And then kept going and came out like on the edge here. Like right on the other side of this pole. Right there.
I'm glad they got out. We didn't have to help them.
Yeah, I can't believe we saw him. Like, that was perfect timing to see that.
It would have been funnier if we were here 1 minute earlier seeing him drive through the field.
Yeah, that's true.
So as you can see, this is the cattle trailer me and my brother share. And it's seen better days. It's not as new as it once was. We've had a few repairs on it over time, and a couple weeks ago I was moving heifers to my brother's, and yeah, it kind of broke in half. And we just finished doing some repairs on it. We know we should buy a new one. We don't want to spend the money on it right now, or we can't. We shouldn't. So we fixed it up a month or 2 back, and then yeah, a week or 2 ago it snapped in half. Luckily it happened at my brother's place when I got to his farm. I was moving 4 big pregnant heifers, so I had 2 in the front, 2 in the back, because there's a little compartment that separates them. And I got to my brother's place, went over his little speed bump. Maybe I should blame it on that. It was a speed bump that did it. And then the tongue here snapped off. So this broke right here on both sides. So the trailer was like this in his yard. And we dragged it around the barn, backed it up to where we needed to. It managed to hold together, got the heifers unloaded. And then we took it to a guy to get repaired. So this is what we got done. We got this all beefed up here and back, and it was a simpler fix than what we thought. So the guy that we brought it to, he said he's seen this before, and anyways, we should hopefully get a few more years out of it. You know, we don't go on the 401 with this thing. It's just from farm to farm, and just to move a few animals back and forth, and really on farm for me and Lauren, from the heifer barn to the dairy barn. So if it's not roadworthy at some point anymore, then me and Lauren can still use it just in the yard maybe. So while it was in the shop or at the guy's place getting repaired, me and Lauren really wanted to move some heifers from the super hutch to the heifer barn. We always use the trailer for that. So we thought, I was talking to my cousin at this dairy meeting, and he said, you know, we just halter our heifers and bring them from the dairy barn to the heifer barn, and from the heifer barn to the dairy barn. So I thought, you know, little calves, so we'll just halter them and bring them over. But little 4 or 5 months old calves, they can be quite stubborn and lively. So they either put the brakes on or they run, and they got a lot of weight and power at that age, even though they're small. But anyways, we moved 3 the old-fashioned way. Probably won't do that again, and we'll be using the trailer again next time for that.
to help? I can put the camera down and get in there. Okay.
Got it. Did you get that one?
No.
I don't know if third time's a charm, but I got it.
Maybe we don't need a trailer.
I'd do it with a trailer instead next time. Well, it wasn't that much fun. Button this door up. It's gonna be cold tonight.
Eddie, what's that thing behind you there?
A house.
No, in front of the house.
My truck. What, this bag of corn?
Yeah.
A bag of high moisture corn.
Why is it right outside the entry of the barn?
Because it's on gravel. And you want a bag on gravel, not on dirt. So if that means putting it close to the house where your wife doesn't want it, then that's what that means.
Wow.
What's that behind you, Lauren?
Nothing.
Barn?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bag's beside the barn, right? Closer to the barn than the house?
I wish we had a drone to get the footage of like where it is and how close it is. Like it's 10 feet, 8 feet from the entry.
Yeah.
It just cuts right off. Like it's not so bad now that it's almost done, but it went all the way down to the other door. You almost cut off that door too.
I know. The breeder really had to like go to the front.
Tristan, what do you think about this? Leave a comment, Tristan. What were your thoughts on this bag?
I'm feeding this bag right away.
I never did get to
It'll be
ask
gone in a
you,
couple
Tristan,
months.
How you felt about this bag?
Anyways, let's carry on.
Okay. Wow, it's nice out today.
Huh?
Kylie and I are heading to the barn to check out. Eddie's been working on something that he wants to show us. He said he's almost done, so we're heading out to check it out, and I will show you. You guys, I know what it is. Do you remember in this video, our pump, our booster pump for the robot room that sprays the powerful hose got wrecked? That was like a lot of months ago. Eddie's finally fixing it. So you're finally fixing it, eh?
Finally. I've been procrastinating.
I think that's an understatement.
I'm not a plumber.
How's it going?
Good, I think. I just have a couple pieces to put on. This piece has to go on. was Uncle Hank's saw.
Oh, I wondered.
It's also been in here since May.
Oh, really?
I should get that back to him.
Obviously, he doesn't need it.
Maybe he bought another one. No, no. I kind of forgot it was up on the shelf. This going here, and then this on here, and then that tank.
So, are you putting it in a spot where the cows can't?
Yeah, I'm lowering it.
Okay. Because that was the problem last time. The cows bumped into
The tank
it.
was up to here last time.
Okay.
That'll be down here.
Okay.
Should be. That should be it.
So I guess you'll just use it tomorrow, let it dry for a while?
Let it dry till tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll try it. Hopefully it works. There's no leaks. So the reason it took me so long is because I wanted to do it myself. But it broke in May, then we got busy with field work, and then it was all summer, fall, busy. Now it's February, like we haven't been that busy for the last month or two, but it seems like we're always busy. And I refuse to hire a plumber to fix it. I refuse to get trades if I don't need them. Not that I don't like them, they do great work, I just don't want to pay the big bills. So I wanted to fix it on my own. I knew I could do it, and now I did it, and if it works tomorrow, then that's good. If it doesn't work, then I gotta call a plumber anyway. Oh yeah. All right.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Wow. That is powerful.
Woo!
Goodness. So this here is our plate cooler. This goes through the filtration system, and then the milk runs through this plate cooler and cools it a little bit before pumping it through to our milk tank. And the reason for that is just so that you don't have warm milk going into the milk tank. So it doesn't, I don't believe it cools it down right to the temperature it should be in the tank, but it helps the process of the cooling. And I'm just going to change the filter now.
Whoa!
So you're supposed to pull out the filter that's being washed, and I wasn't paying good enough attention. The light means it's being used, and Eddie always puts a mug on the, like he changes it and puts the mug, so I should have known better that I needed to change this one because it's not lit and the mug is there, but I don't know, my head wasn't on right and I changed the wrong one. So the milk is flowing through this filter right now because since we have robots, we have two filters and they change back and forth so you can always have milk going to the tank. And yeah, I messed that one up. The sad thing is that's not the first time I've done that, and the last time it was way worse. The milk was pumping and I was just splattered with milk, and